Hey, thanks for stopping by. Today we're going to be talking about the top 5 tips for the new gun owner. First off, when buying any handgun, especially right now in 2021, if you're one of the 7 million people that are buying your very first handgun, shotgun, or rifle for home defense, or anything really, it's imperative that you get some formal training. And you get training from a professional, be it a concealed carry weapons course, a firearm safety training course. It usually takes a day or two, but it just gives you a good chance of getting acquainted with your new firearm and how to use it safely, how to stow it away safely, maybe some laws that pertain to your particular state and county and even city, because laws are very particular for each and every region that everybody's in here in the United States. So get some formal training. All too often, I've seen people get their first gun and buy 2 boxes of ammo, go to the range, shoot 1 box, come back home, and put their brand new gun into a nightside stand or desk or something, and their 1 box of ammo, and they're good. If somebody breaks into the house, they've got a gun and they can shoot it. Okay, well, I don't suggest that course of action, because with firearms, you really need to know what you're doing. And when you are using it, you don't want to think about how to operate the firearm. You want that to be second nature so you can focus on the very traumatic event that's going on, because anytime you're actually going to be reaching for your firearm to use it, things are going to be completely stressful, and that's not the time to whip out the owner's manual and do a little refresh. So get some formal training and spend time in that. Right now, ammo is crazy prices. I've got these 2 boxes out just to kind of go over what it was like back in 2019. I bought some Federal boxes of 50 rounds of Federal 9mm, 115 grain for $5 a box. So 50 rounds at $5 a box, that was 10 cents a round for 9mm. Crazy price. For a box of 50 rounds of 223, it was $14. No, excuse me, I think it was $7. Came out to 14 cents. I forget, but it was just crazy low. And at the time, I didn't really know that ammo could get this expensive what it is now. But thankfully, I just bought every single box that they had, and then into 2019, 2020, I just kept buying ammo that was really cheap and stocking it away. Ever since this crazy COVID thing happened with, the panic buying that's going on, I haven't really bought expensive ammo. I went on Gunbroker and a few other websites and, saw 9mm as high as 60, 70 cents a round for basic FMJ, 115 grain, even, reloads. Just crazy. 223, 5.56 is going for 70, 80 cents a round. It's nuts. So I'm used to paying 20 cents a round for this and 35 cents a round for that. So when it comes to ammo, there's really nothing you can do if you don't have any right now. But when the time comes, because it will come, if you look back at there's graphs on the internet of when you can buy ammo when it's low. Because after every major incident or thing that happens, ammo goes up, and then the market catches up with itself. Supply hits the shelves. People are done panic buying, and the prices tend to go down. So that's always a good time to stock up when the prices are low, obviously. But if you go to your store one day and you see that there's plenty of ammo on the shelves, don't say to yourself, oh great, I don't need to buy any because now the stores have plenty, so when I need some, it'll be there. No, buy it when it's available. That way, when you need it, you have it. Anyway, so number one here is figure out what you want. Figure out what caliber you want. You might be, into Dirty Harry movies and you really like the Model 29. You go to the range to shoot it for your first time, and that 44 mag is not what you thought it would be. It's a little more powerful. Those are not exactly fun to shoot. They're nice to look at and they look cool because of Dirty Harry movies. Maybe you're a James Bond fan and want the Walther PPK, but then when you go to look for 380 ammo, it's not available. So be sure that you know what you want before you just see something that looks cool. So don't buy on just looks. And I've got these two 1911s out. I would not suggest buying a expensive 1911 for your first handgun. We'll get into why these are out more in a second here. But try things first. See if you can go rent that Glock 19 or that Smith & Wesson SDVE 9. See if you can check out that Smith & Wesson Shield, either by renting one or borrowing one from a friend and trying a few magazines of it yourself. Look through the sights, feel it in your hand, make sure that it's something that you feel confident not only firing but operating. Drop the magazine, induce malfunctions without live ammo, and try to take the gun apart, see if you can take it apart and clean it, put it back together. There's some guns that are much harder to take apart than others. So it's imperative, it's important to be fully acquainted with a gun that you haven't even purchased yet. That way, when you do get it, it's not something that is overwhelming and causes you to not really want to use it or practice or train in the first place. So that's important. If you don't have anybody that you can go borrow the gun with, or you can go rent, at least go to a gun shop and don't be afraid to ask the people behind the counter if you can check it out, and ask them if you can dry fire it. Even when you're at a gun shop, be sure to point that gun in a safe direction. Even if there's no ammunition in the gun, it's just good etiquette to follow the 4 universal gun safety rules at all times. It's just something you want to do. That way, if a gun is ever loaded, you're following those rules and you know exactly what to do. Okay, number 2, do not solely rely on one person's opinion about guns. Again, I've heard many people, I've been talking to them about what's a good first gun for them, and I might say a Springfield XD 45 seems like a good way to go for you. And I'll say, but don't take my word. Talk to a bunch of different people, talk to some true professionals in the maybe at the gun shop or at a forum, and they come back and tell me that they have a cousin, a brother, a girlfriend, an aunt, an uncle, and they know everything about guns, and they're going to rely on that one person to tell them what to do because that's who they go shooting with. And even if this person is, Sam Colt reincarnated and knows everything about guns, they're going to be biased. It's important to get information from many different sources. Do your own research. Do plenty of research. That way, when you get your Springfield XD home, maybe you wish you would have gone with a Glock. Maybe you wish you would have spent a little more money and gone with a Glock, but the person that you took all the suggestions from, they just hate Glock, for whatever reason. So what's good for one person is not going to be good for another. It's like fitting shoes. It's just whatever works best for you in your personal application, in your hand, with your eyes looking down those sights. So do as much research as you can before purchasing, and don't rely on one person. Number 3, buy at the right time. We talked about this earlier, but now I'm going to get into guns. And these two are out here. This is a Springfield MC Operator, chambered in 45 ACP, and this one is a Springfield loaded target 9mm. And between these two guns, I hear it all the time: how much did I pay and where did I get it? And I'm not going to really get into that specifically. I'm just going to say that the MSRP on this, I think, is $1,308. I got this for about $1,000, brand new, and it took me 5.5 months to find one of these. I live in California. This is on the California handgun roster. And if you're also in California, you know how hard it is to find certain models. Right now, it's almost hard to find any model, but something like this seems to be really hard. And on certain gun forums, marketplaces, I've seen these advertised for $1,800, $2,100, $2,400. People ask way too much money, almost twice the MSRP, because, hey, why not? Right? Don't go buying some used gun for way too much money just because it's available. Yeah, you might have to do your research, and you might have to, talk to a few gun shops and really put in the legwork. But these guns are still being made. Don't panic and don't overpay, because if it's between one that you have to really overpay for and another one that's very similar, you could either get that similar one or just keep hunting for the one you want at the right price. So again, I got this for, the right retail at about $1,100, and I actually found it at a place in the Midwest, and I had it shipped to a local FFL, and I was able to do it that way because nobody in town had one. So, be sure that you're not only consulting one gun shop, and it's important to buy local if you can. And the reason why it benefits you is because if you stay in touch with the local gun shops and give them your business, give them a reason to keep you in touch, then they're going to call you if you say, hey, I'm looking for a Springfield loaded target 9mm. Let me know when you have one in. If you've done business with them, they're going to call you up. I've had people call me. A local shop called me and said that they had this off-roster Springfield Hellcat in stock. This is an off-roster gun which is fully legal here in California as long as it has 10-round magazines, which this does, and it meets all other legalities within the state. There's no handgun that is illegal in nature. It's just not it's not legal to sell them brand new via FFL. So you have to buy it used, which I did. So this gun shop got this in used, and they were able to call me up and say, hey, Casey, we got this for you. Come on down if you want it. So it's really cool because this Springfield Hellcat, the OSP version, it's kind of hard to come by in my area. I haven't seen any other for sale since, and I'm really glad I got a hold of this. So give the local guys your business, even if you're paying a little bit more money. The big box stores, sometimes it's good to shop there too, but just do your research, stay in touch, and that way you're not going to overpay for the wrong thing. And, sometimes these stores will charge way too much money as well, and you don't need to pay for that. But in the same vein, be completely ready to buy what you want to buy when the time comes. So if you're looking for that Glock 19, Gen 3 and OD green or something, and you really want it, you really want it, and few weeks goes by and then you walk into a gun shop and boom, there it is for $519, a pretty reasonable price right now. Buy it. You got to buy it. If you don't buy it, it's going to be gone that day or the next day. Right now, guns are flying off the shelves, especially something like that, which a lot of people want. So you do have to jump on it right away, and you got to be prepared to jump on it right away. And that's how I was with this guy here, and I'm really glad I was able to get it. Again, I haven't seen another new one available. I have seen a bunch of used ones at way over the price, just too much money. Same goes for some websites out there that are charging crazy amounts of money for ammo and guns, and the availability is there because they're just jacking up the prices. So that's number 3. Number 4, when buying used, ask the seller if you can talk to a reputable gun shop, because you got to go to the FFL anyway here in California, and ask the seller, hey, do you mind if the shop employee overlooks the gun and make sure things look right? If you're not into firearms, you might not know how to take the gun apart. You might not know what to look for. So it's important that the seller is going to be completely upfront and willing to do that. If you feel like something's wrong when buying a used gun, don't buy that gun. Either go, go get a new one or find somebody else. Never ever send your money, send money for a gun that they're going to ship you unless you're fully aware that your money could either go bye-bye and you never see a gun, or without a doubt that transaction is going to go through. There's a forum I belong to that every single week there's a member on there that says, don't do business with this username, and they just got scammed. So just be on the lookout, buyer beware when purchasing used. Another thing to look for is if people are like, it's like new condition and it's got a giant idiot scratch right here, there's rust on the slide, and and they're just basically BSing you, and they're like, well, that's how, just look out for that kind of stuff. There's a lot of bad people out there. So anyway, number 5 is don't buy on looks alone. Man, this happens a lot, especially with younger guys. Not so much with gals. Gals seem to be a little smarter with guns, but younger guys, they see like this AR-15 looking shotgun with a big pistol grip on there and a compensator and fluted barrel, flames running down the side, and barbed wire. It's got a little button for like AC/DC to play. Ding, 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 ding. And it's some Turkish-made $199 Thanksgiving special that'll fall apart in 3 weeks, but damn, it looks cool. So don't buy on looks. Be sure to make that purchase on doing the research and finding out what's going to work best for you. And after you go and shoot it, and it shoots great and all that kind of stuff, the looks are going to come and you're going to be like, man, I just love this thing, So definitely don't buy on looks. And that's pretty much all I got today. Thanks for watching. Appreciate your time. Subscribe if you haven't subscribed. Hit that like button if you like the video. Smash the dislike.